Hey everyone, welcome back to my channel. This is Alex of Coyote Star Astrology, and this is my full moon in Virgo video for the full moon in Virgo on February 27th, 2021 at 12:17 a.m. Pacific Standard Time. However, please do adjust for your current location on planet Earth as that time and date may change. So I'm actually really loving this full moon chart. I think it's potentially the best astrological energy we've had since literally the beginning of the year. Even the last few months of last year, it's the best energy we've had in a while. And part of that is because we have the sun in Pisces now. We actually have Venus in Pisces as of this full moon. And that just means to me that the distribution of energies in this chart is a lot more like sane. Having that much of Aquarius for that many weeks was just really high voltage and intense. Even if you were enjoying it, like I was saying in my last video, that if all that Aquarius was aspecting your planets nicely, you may have had a really awesome last few months. But if it wasn't aspecting your planets well, it could have been really, really hard. And either way, I just feel like it was a lot energetically. Aquarius is about making quantum leaps in development. So a lot has been changing very quickly, even just within our perspective of things, which has been quite profound for me. And a lot of people that I know, but at the same time, it's still just like a lot is changing. A lot is shifting. It's hard to keep up with it all. And we're adapting, right? So now that we have the sun and Venus in Pisces, the energies are dispersed a little bit more evenly, but we still have something very interesting happening because now we have the sun, Venus, and Neptune in Pisces forming Team Pisces. And then we have Saturn, Mercury, and Jupiter still in Aquarius, forming Team Aquarius. Now, this is pretty remarkable because both Aquarius and Pisces are not quite of this world, right? They're the two last signs in the zodiac. And after Capricorn, we're like in liftoff. We're going into outer space. Aquarius is like technology and innovation and extraterrestrials and downloads and, like I said, quantum leaps forward. And Pisces is so far, it's like it's interdimensional. It's in the astral realm. It's in the dream realm. So there's a tremendous amount of energy in this chart that is not quite of this world. It's very magical. It's very mystical. You may feel that. There's sort of this like feeling that the veils are very thin, this sort of like Pisces sparkly magic, but also Aquarius and Pisces, Aquarius ruled by Uranus and Pisces ruled by Neptune. Both of those planets, Uranus and Neptune, are antennas, which connect us to off-planet information and interdimensional information. So the growth and the leaps forward, I wouldn't say that it's slowing down any. In fact, it might actually be accelerating. But what's really cool about this is that Pisces is about manifestation, because Pisces is about imagination and the dream realm. So the two together, they're sort of like these big plugs or antennas. The two together, all this Aquarius and all this Pisces, is sort of like the manifestation dream combination, you know? So lots still happening. And this little Pisces team here, Venus, Sun, and Neptune, these three are going to be getting closer and closer together into the middle of March. So every day they're going to get closer. And then around like March 13th and March 14th, we have some really close conjunctions happening between them. So that mystical Piscean energy is actually only going to increase into March. And I've been calling that little group of planets the angel team for like the last year. I'm like really looking forward to it because it's just so angelic. We have Venus, the goddess of love and beauty, in Pisces, where she's super dreamy and idealistic and creative. And then with the sun, which is channeling this solar energy and this light and this expression. And then Neptune. I mean, it's gorgeous. So that's only going to increase. And this is a full moon in Virgo. And the ruler of Virgo is Mercury. So Mercury is really sort of like the ruler of this chart. And Mercury is finishing up its retrograde process. It's now in post-shadow. So we're done, quote unquote, with retrograde, but we're really not. We're still in the process. We're in the post-shadow, which is all about getting clarity, finding resolution, making sense of the retrograde journey that we were on. And there's this sense of coming into completion or understanding. That Mercury retrograde was very intense. A few things made it intense. Number one, our North Node is in Gemini right now. The ruler of Gemini is Mercury. So this year, while we have a North Node in Gemini, our Mercury retrograde processes are sort of like the vehicles for our soul growth and our soul evolution. Right? The South Node and the North Node have to do with, are we going to go back into the past, into a past belief system or the past way of doing something? Or are we going to grow? Are we going to shift? Are we going to change? So this Mercury retrograde was one of those portals where there was a lot coming up. And then Mercury was also going over the planet Jupiter. So that was really big energy, making things kind of extreme. And then made a close conjunction with Saturn and then went direct with Saturn. So yeah, this is like really having to assess things practically, very maturely, having to look at the timing of our life, having to plan and really make decisions based on what's best for us, especially within our larger goals and our projects. So Mercury is finishing that transit, and I think that the culmination of those energies has a lot to do with this full moon, in the sense that Virgo is about self-improvement. Virgo is about clearance and purging and detox and healing. So given that Mercury is the ruler of this full moon, we may be coming to some realizations or some feelings of completion within around the process that we've been going through over the last few weeks, and ready to make some declarations around self-improvement and healing and clearance. So the moon in Virgo will be in opposition to the sun in Pisces. And the sun in Pisces, like we said, will be with Venus. So I really see the sun and Venus as representing like our ultimate ideals or our dream manifestation, our crystalline vision, our highest self. And the full moon in Virgo is this sort of like analytical, discerning presence that is really ready to shed parts of us that aren't aligned within our evolutionary direction at this point. So this really celebrates the intentional nature of the archetype Virgo. Virgo is very intentional within what it puts into its body, what it allows into its space. Virgo keeps a very clean home, keeps a steady routine. And in this way, by living with intention, it's setting up environments that are very high vibrational and detoxing or purging energies that are not. So this full moon, I feel like, is reflective of that and is sort of like flushing and cleansing out the residual findings of our Mercury retrograde if it brought up anything that's no longer in alignment. And last but definitely not least, we have this beautiful trine between Pluto and Mars, which is amazing because Mars had been squared by Saturn for literally like months. Very frustrating transit. That is over. Mars has shaken free of the Saturn square and is on its way. And now it's actually getting an energizing shove forward by Pluto. So this basically just means that there's a lot of powerful forces in the universe right now that are helping us, guiding us forward, whereas before we were sort of like held in place. So hopefully things that were stagnant can start moving ahead now, and you can feel some of that energy start to free up. Thank you guys for having patience with me getting this video out. I know it's a little bit later than normal, but I have been really hard at work crushing out a astrology course for you guys that I'm going to be announcing in the next few days. It's definitely going to be released before my next video on here. So stay tuned into my Instagram. I'll be announcing it there. Very, very excited about this, you guys. It's pretty awesome. And I'm putting my Instagram up there on the screen. Also, if you guys would like to reach out to me for a reading, I'm putting my website up there as well, coyotestarastrology.com. You can click on book a reading at my website and find me through there. All right, you guys, thank you so much for tuning in, and I will see you in the next video. Bye for now.